Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. My name is Bliss Foster. This is part 2 of upcoming brands of 2022. Part 1 is linked somewhere, probably on the screen or down in the description, whatever. No particular order. Let's get back in. Deepti. We are coming in super heavy with the artisanal designers this time around. Deepti Barth has had an outstanding resume. She worked at Carol Christian Pole for 7 years. She also worked at Vivienne Westwood, but both of those things almost wouldn't matter if you've ever found yourself in the same room with her stuff. These clothes feel totally unlike anything else I've ever felt. Additionally, Deepti Barth is one of only a handful of women who are designing groundbreaking work in the realm of menswear. Innovation with textiles and production techniques is where Deepti's work shines the most. She's mostly working with exclusive fabrics and everything is small batch. And it's really hard to describe how this stuff is so different unless you're in the room actually touching it or trying it on. I know that that's kind of a trope among artisanal menswear, is to say like, oh, well, you really can't understand unless you've tried it on. But in this case, like I gotta co-sign the trope. It's actually kind of true. I mean, you could be blindfolded and feel 100 different pieces of clothing and you'd be able to identify, probably with almost no experience, which one is by Deepti. It truly is the experience of, oh, I didn't know that clothes could be this way. Deepti is continuing on the groundwork that was laid by Carol Christian Pole, and she's managed to find a completely unique voice within that framework. I'm not just looking forward to the next collection by Deepti, I am looking forward to every new individual piece that Deepti makes. Alexandra Sipa. Okay, so there are lots of designers that say that they find their inspiration in unusual places. I have not found any other designers that mean that as literally as Alexandra Sipa. This is one of those designers who gives me the rare experience of appreciating the mundane parts of the world around me more simply through the clothes that she's making. Brands that focus on sustainability are always a good thing, but Alexandra Sipa comes in with such an intense aesthetic that you're still reeling at how fucking cool this stuff looks by the time she tells you that it's also sustainable. Alexandra has interned with both Balenciaga and Marine Serre, and she's a brilliant example of taking on influences from both those houses respectively and then finding a way to push that forward into her own vision. She's really breathed her own life into it. I often talk about how brands should have a very uncompromising vision, and folks, this is it. This is what an uncompromising vision looks like. Hed Mayner. These are big clothes. These are the kind of clothes that are an event. But the element that makes Hed Mayner a bellwether is the cohesion in these collections. He's championing a proposal for new shapes, especially with the shape of the jackets, but you never get the idea that this would all have to be paired with other garments in order to be a complete look in your own life. I feel confident that I could just wear a single collection by this man for multiple years and feel awesome while doing it. So we have a proposal for a new shape, a new look, and then we also have a lot of cohesion, and those two things together is a really tall order. It's a tough thing to do. And lastly here, Hed is not just proposing baggy clothes. I mean, I think at this point, all of us have something baggy in our closets. These are massive clothes. And when clothes get to a certain size, the experience of wearing them changes drastically. When you get things at this size, your body posture changes. You move in these clothes differently. It's hard to talk about a physical experience in a clear way, but rest assured, Hed Mayner is not just proposing a slightly different shape here. He is wow, that was such a loud car. Was it performance parts or the muffler? I suspect it was the muffler. It's hard to talk about a physical experience in a clear way, but rest assured, Hed Mayner is not just proposing a slightly different shape. He is proposing a new way of existing in your clothes. I love this stuff. I cannot wait for more. Folks, let me tell you about a little something called Patreon. The Patreon is a place where you can support content creators you love, like me. When you sign up, you get all kinds of perks, but the biggest one is probably joining the private Discord server, wherein lots of cool fashion people who are way more knowledgeable than me talk about fashion all day long. I myself don't have a lot of in real life fashion friends, and I would go absolutely crazy if I didn't have that private Discord server. I'd like you to go check it out. It's patreon.com/blissfoster. You stay cool, Orlando. Miss Sohee. Okay. I know who my audience is. I know that a lot of y'all are 20-year-old fashion bros who are super into Helia DeMille and Raf. I am too. So I know that romantic women's wear might not be what you pulled up this video for specifically, but I defy you to look at this picture and tell me this is not incredible. Absolutely wild. Top shelf stuff. Okay, so in order to do beautiful romantic women's wear here now in the present, it requires a lot of fantasy and imagination to make it work. And that really is where Sohee Park shines. She's activating our own imaginations while she's showing us the nuances of her own. She also might be fashion's new wonderkind. I mean, she's 25, but the work looks like it has the mastery of someone who's been in the industry for decades. What she does, she refers to herself as demi-couture. I would absolutely love to see her try out full-on haute couture. And if there's ever an opening at a major fashion house, all my votes go to Sohee Park. But yeah, this is one of the few Instagram accounts that I'll just pull up when I'm in my full like rest mode free time, just so I can look at these pictures again and just kind of soak up all of the stimuli that starts firing off in my brain when I look at them. These are just wonderful, wonderful pieces of clothing. I cannot wait to see how this stuff gets expounded upon in the future. This is beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. Nensi Dojaka. Nensi was recently awarded the 2021 LVMH prize, so I imagine that many of you have heard of her work, but it's easy, especially for men, to look at this stuff and think that you've gotten a quick understanding of it. What I want to emphasize here is that this is good. This is really good, and it's just her first runway show collection. She's taken a fairly simplistic idea, lingerie as high fashion, and she's done a surprising amount with that idea. A lot of this stuff probably even looks better in person than it does in this incredible looking photograph because it's made in silk. When you're trying to get a brand off the ground and do your first presentation, it can be really difficult to come out with a really strong, powerful voice and a clear vision, and that's all here. Nensi has laid some outstanding groundwork here in the runway show and in the actual final product that came out of it. I cannot wait to see where she goes in the future. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Thanks so much for joining me today for the hottest new brands of 2022. I hope to see you again soon. Make sure that you join that Patreon. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's just @BlissFoster and patreon.com/BlissFoster. I'll see you around on the Discord server. Be sure to leave a comment with any brands that I might have missed this year. We're always looking for new brands to look up, new aesthetics and vibes to take in, and we'd love to hear one from you. I'll see you soon. I love you a lot, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.